Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Basu Godin Notebook. This is the Monday, November 18th edition, but Arpin, we're recording it on Friday night because, it's game day tomorrow. You're going to attend the game. Unfortunately, I was supposed to, but I won't. So I was, I'm on IR. So it's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. Oh, people get sick, man. It happens, you know. You have illnesses and bumps and bruises along the way. It's fine.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I had a great summer. I was in the best shape of my career, and
you came
yeah,
out of training camp and you got hurt right off the bat. Way to go.
that's it.
Yeah, figures you cover the Canadians because that's a
Yeah,
very Canadian story. But
very.
um,
Yeah,
speaking
exactly.
of that, though, I was at practice on Sunday today
Yeah.
for us, yesterday
Mm.
for all of you, and got there pretty early and watched Patrick Laine skate for
Yeah,
quite a while.
with Adam Nicholas.
um, with Adam Nicholas and none of the training staff, like no athletic therapists out there with them or trainers. Um, so it was a purely hockey workout, and I gotta say, like, it looked pretty good. I mean, I don't know, for a guy who's like knee like bent in a way that was really disgusting to watch and really quite frightening. Looked okay. Was making sharp turns. Was going relatively hard. Was not like going full speed or anything, but was doing a lot of sort of agility drills, skating around things, sharp turns, quick stops. You know,
He feels
December,
almost ahead of schedule.
well, December 1st, so we're 2 weeks away, just under 12 days. We're 12 days away from it being 2 months from the date that they announced a two to
Hmm.
3 month timeline. So I think personally, when I heard 2 to 3 months, I assumed it would be three.
Yeah.
I think everyone assumed it would be three, but watching him today, he stayed out even after his teammates filtered out, was taking one-timers with Emil Heineman or Heineman and Yoel Armia for a while. Um, yeah, stayed for like 10, 15 minutes for the kind of the initial sort of shoot around portion before practice and then left. But still, I don't know how long he was on the ice, but I got to practice at around 10:30 or 10:45 ish, and it was originally called for 11:15, but they didn't actually start until 11:30. So I don't know. I'd say Liney was on the ice for a good half hour minimum that I saw him.
Yeah.
And he was already on the ice when I got there. So I don't know when he exactly got on the ice, but still, it's uh, it's an interesting development. You know, I had not it had not registered in my mind when we might even start to consider the possibility that Patrick Laine was going to play on the team. And I think it might be time to start considering the possibility that Patrick Laine is going to be on the team relatively soonish. I don't want to give people the wrong impression. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how he's doing, but based on I've seen guys skate after injuries, and while I wouldn't say that Laine was going all out, and while I wouldn't say that he was anywhere close to an imminent return or an imminent spot at practice or anything, he wasn't going mollo, if you would. He wasn't taking it easy, like he was working hard and he was doing things that I would think would put strain on his knee.
Yeah. Well, he's
And
been
so
skating for about a week or so. So it's
more than that, no?
more than that.
I think it was
Okay.
during
I think the team
it
was
was
in
the team was
New
on the
Jersey.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think the team
Yeah, I
was in
think the
New
team
Jersey
was in
then.
New Jersey. That's right. So yeah, so maybe a bit maybe a bit more than a week. Anyhow,
Yeah.
he's doing really well, and actually um I could share this. I think it's been not funny because it's not funny for them, but people who don't know, the press box at the Bell Center is the least accessible, probably one of the least accessible press boxes in the league in terms of for people who have a physical ailment or disability, especially, I mean, if you're in a wheelchair, forget it. Like you're not getting onto the press box at the Bell Center because you have to take a set of stairs, two sets of stairs, really. It's kind of a two-level staircase. But watching David Reinbacher navigate those stairs for the better part of the last 2 months has been painful to watch. It's been difficult. So the other night at the game, both he and Patrick Laine went up those stairs at intermission and came downstairs to the media lounge to grab a snack. So not only is Laine apparently approaching a return, but Reinbacher is navigating those stairs very well. He's been off
Hmm.
crutches for a while. He's doesn't have the massive brace that over his pants. I think he has one under his pants right now, but still feels comfortable enough to take a totally optional voluntary trip up the stairs and down the stairs, then back up the stairs and back down the stairs to get back to the press box just to get himself a snack at intermission. Um, so good news, I guess, on both fronts. But Patrick Laine being on the ice and skating to the extent that he was, that I saw him do on Sunday, and sticking around with some of his teammates, which must have just felt good for him to do. I don't think he's done that yet. Um, Good sign. So let's see if we can see Patrick Laine back at practice in the next couple of weeks.
Considering the way you describe it, because you're right, you have to go up and down the stairs from the eighth floor to go down on to the press box, and then
Mm,
down to the seventh floor using the stairs again just to get to the lounge where the meal is served.
yeah.
Considering the number of injured players there's been on the Montreal Canadiens these last few years, they should install those stair lifts, like with the
Well, I mean,
seat, go up and down the stairs like this, and you just and the player sits on it and it goes
well,
it'd be
yeah,
perfect.
and they should just make it accessible, right? I mean, it's, God forbid that one of us or someone who wants to cover the Canadians is in a wheelchair. They literally couldn't. They could not
No.
cover a game if you were in a wheelchair, and that's wrong. That shouldn't be the case. So, um, love that press box. It's still, after Madison Square Garden, my favorite press box in the league. But that is it's a big kind of X on it. It's not the only press box in the league that's not accessible to people who are in wheelchairs. Far from
Hey,
it.
for people who walk easily, the press box in San Jose is hard to get to.
Yes, press box in San Jose, the press box in Calgary. There's
Oh yeah,
several that are
yeah.
difficult to get to. But anyhow, that's neither here. That's all just to say that Patrick Laine and David Reinbacher voluntarily went up those stairs, down those stairs, got their snack, went back upstairs, went back downstairs, went back to the press box. So Patrick Laine is doing well, seemingly. Reinbacher is doing better than he was a couple of weeks ago, which is normal. Obviously, you would hope that he would be. But um, but yeah. So now on to the show.
Yeah.
Sorry for that sidebar, but yeah.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It gets us all warmed up, but we have to address what's been the topic, despite Shea Weber's ovation, despite Sean Monahan being back in town, despite the fact that the Canadians won 5-1. The main topic of discussion was Juraj Slafkovsky being benched pretty much all of the second half of the second period. He
Mm,
was limited to one shift with the fourth line. So between the ninth and the 20th minute of second period, and you pointed out you went back to watch his shifts in the second period and identified a moment
mm.
where one moment in particular where he must have drew the ire of his coach and his teammates because his his decision making and his puck management um, put Jake Evans in a bad spot, and probably that it triggered something in Martin Saint Louis. No,
Yeah, well, I think it was a combination of that and just the overall directives for the game, right? I mean, you know, it reminded me a lot of the game the Canadians played against the Kings earlier in the season. The Kings were on a back-to-back. They had played the night before. The Canadians were rested. In this case, they were still traveling from Minnesota, but they didn't practice the day before. And against the Kings, they were at home, just sitting at home, resting basically, and waiting for them. And in both cases, the priority of the game plan was to get pucks deep, trust the forecheck, all the sort of boring blah 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 stuff that you say. Against the Kings, they didn't do that. And I went back and read my story, and Marty after the game pointed out that they turned the puck over 14 times in the first period alone against the Kings. Like they did the opposite of what he asked to do. Against the Blue Jackets, they didn't do that. They really
No,
did. They really did follow the game plan, and they really did put pucks deep, and they made it difficult, and they forced Columbus to go 200 feet, and they were doing it well. And
they
then in that
pounced
second,
early. They pounced
it,
against a
yeah,
team that played the night before. When you score first, you put them on their heels.
yeah, absolutely, and they were just they were doing it through their discipline and their discipline in the way they play and the way they try to get their offensive game going.